All right, everyone, we are live. Let me share my screen real quick here, see if I can find it. Share, I guess we can share the entire screen, or maybe not. Where will I share my screen? Guys, sorry, my MacBook is lagging quite a bit. If there's anyone here, I don't think there's anyone here yet. That being said, most likely a lot of you guys will watch the replay. So that's a good thing. Guys, give me 1 second. My MacBook is lagging so much. Right, share screen. Let's just do the entire screen. Why not? There you go. Okay. I think we are good to go. These live streams, we do them every single week, regardless if people show up or not. We have a weekly, basically not Q&A, but weekly a weekly place where you guys can just chat with me if you have any questions about Arvow, if you want me to run you through some SEO stuff. We are here to help. So any questions you guys have about anything, about the product, how we're building it, like and all that stuff. I mean, you guys can just hop on here and ask questions. Given there's nobody here because I did not send out an email, which is not an issue. I'll just chat a bit about some of the stuff we're working on. So, in case any of you guys watch the replay, so in terms of product, it is pretty solid. We keep on improving it and keep on hearing your suggestions every single day. And so, if you have any suggestions, make sure to click here to request a feature. Any single thing you guys want to see, like just upvote it, comment, and then you can also see the roadmap and the change log on the stuff we're working on. So I heavily advise you to look into this if you want us to improve the product in any of these fields. Just go on here and comment, because as cliche as it sounds, we do take a lot of your feedback into account, because you guys tell us what you guys want. And then we build a product based off of what you guys want. And so with that being said, let me just speak a bit about what I'm seeing in the SEO space right now for the people who do watch the replay. And so I want to talk a bit about I guess the main differences when we look at GPT SEO or LM-based SEO versus the classic Google and Bing. And I talk about ChatGPT, but I could be talking about Google's AI mode. Okay, Google AI mode. Actually, let me just write this down. Google's Google AI mode. I could be talking about Perplexity. I could be talking about Claude. Doesn't matter. Whichever one of these you use, it's all the same thing. It's LLM-based search, okay, or AI first. And then Google Bing, I mean, you can even use DuckDuckGo. Most of us just use Google, so I just choose the most popular ones. Okay, and I've talked about this in the past, but the main thing you need to understand when you're searching or when you're trying to rank or be mentioned across LM-based search engines versus Google and Bing, the classic ones, is understand how these work, right? Because Google and Bing, it's been the same thing for ages. Okay, you just go on there, you search it for something, right? We call it keyword. Here you call it a prompt, but a keyword and a prompt is basically the same thing. Like a prompt is just a longer type of keyword to some extent. And based on your keyword, right, there are a bunch of results show up. Right? Result number one, let's say you type in best Herman Miller chair alternatives, right? A bunch of results show up. Maybe like an article shows up, like a listicle. Maybe then like Reddit shows up where it has a bunch of comments of people like looking for alternatives or recommending certain alternatives. Then maybe it's like a YouTube video, the third one, where it's like a guy reviewing the chairs, okay? And then, yeah, that's basically it, okay? And then you just go in, click and read through the article, right? Click and read through the Reddit comments, or click and watch through the YouTube video, okay? The difference between these is that these LLM-based search engines, they work like a funnel, okay? And you give it a prompt, right? In most cases, like while here you just be searching for or just, the prompt would be just be Herman Miller chair alternatives. Right here for GPT, usually, like, because it's back and forth, because you prompt it gives you an answer, you prompt it again, it gives you another answer. So you're prompting it back and forth until the answer you have is good enough to satisfy the original search intent of your prompt. But usually prompts here are stuff that's a bit more complex, like let's say, for example, I have back pain, I'm looking for a great chair to combat that. I know Herman Miller is great, but they are quite expensive. Any alternatives you recommend? So yes, it's a bigger prompt, but at the end of the day, these two things mean the same thing, right? Right. Here, you're just literally saying, "Hey, I need an alternative to Herman Miller," right? Regardless of what is your issue, right? Here, you're saying, "Hey, I have back pain." Okay, so you give it context, back pain, and you're looking for this chair, but expensive, so you want an alternative. So basically, all this is doing is based off of this prompt, it concises all the info we just told it into like smaller prompts and basically goes in and search for this stuff on Google. That's basically how it works. And the work you did manually, like the work you did on putting here the keyword and then reading through the article, like reading through the whole thing and saying, okay, it's an alternative, blah, blah, here's whatever. The work you did on going on Reddit and reading through the Reddit comments, the work you did on going through YouTube and watching the YouTube reviews, right? AI does all this for you. AI goes in, reads through the article, reads through the Reddit comments, and goes in and clicks all these links and reads and consumes the information. The same information that you were to consume as a human, the AI just consumes it way, way faster and much more information. And then based off of that, it just gives you all the info in a little text box right here that's easier to consume. Then if you don't like it, you can prompt it again. You can prompt it back and forth until the answer you have at the end is the best answer you could get, right? This is basically how this works, right? These LM engines, right, they do the work that you used to do as a human, just way, way faster, okay? And by the way, Google now has Google AI mode like embedded into Google itself. It's Google's version of ChatGPT. So in theory, you don't even need to use ChatGPT. Now, something else that's very important is that you don't need to rank on Google in order to be mentioned or cited in ChatGPT. This is quite a recent study, and I learned a lot in 2025 about LM SEO because it's something that's super new, and I was heavily invested into it, so I learned a lot about that stuff. Let me just see if we're still live. Yeah, we're still live. Cool. Hopefully, I'm sharing my screen. Oh, don't tell me I'm not sharing my screen. My God. Okay, so I'm not sharing my screen. Jesus. Okay. I wasn't sharing the screen, which is a pain in the butt because I went over a lot of stuff. I just look weird just talking about this. But basically, okay, so if you can just pause the video here, actually screenshot of this, and then hear me yap about all this stuff on top because I was just going over this stuff. GPT versus Google and Bing, the differences between how these two work. Point being is that they don't need to, you don't need to rank on this one to rank here, okay? Because even if you rank 100th, okay, even if you're like on the 100th position, let me just triple check again. There you go. Even if you're in the 100th position, right? The LLMs, they don't, like you as a human, you'd stop at like the 5th result because it's a ton of work. The LLMs won't stop. They can go to the 100th result and see if they find relevant info in the 100th page of Google that gets no human traffic. If the AI finds that this is relevant, right, it will mention or cite this page right here, even though it's 100th. So even though you don't get any human traffic from this result, right, you can get AI traffic that then recommends that content to a human. So you get indirect human traffic. That makes sense. And this is important because 1/3, I drafted this study, 1/3 of the pages or the websites mentioned in LLMs, right, don't even show up on search. So if you were to rank 100 right here, you might think that's quite pointless ranking 100th, but it's not because yes, sure, no human is going to go there, but AI can go there and then show you the info on your page to a human. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it on this. Super important. It's what I learned more about. This is one of the most important things I learned about this year on LMSEO and how it works. And there's no one here, but guys, if you're just watching the replay, we do this every single week. Q&A, like feature requests, customer support. We just do it here on the call every single week. And I guess if nobody shows up, I'll just end the stream right here. Hopefully this was valuable, guys. And if you're just watching this on the replay, well, show up next week because we'll be doing it again every single week. Cheers.